Born on December 5th, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois, Walter Elias Disney was an American entrepreneur, animator, voice actor, film producer, and animation pioneer. Working as an animator, Walt didn't find much success until he created the character of Mickey Mouse with fellow animator Ub Iwerks in 1928. Since then, Disney became an incredibly successful businessman, creating Disney Studios, which created some of the most beloved animated movies of all time. Then expanded into the amusement park business with the creation of Disneyland in 1955. In his personal life, Disney was a very shy, quiet man whom, after his death in 1966, is known worldwide as one of the greatest showbiz pioneers of the 20th century. But you already knew that. So, here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Walt Disney. Number 10. He was a high school dropout. Disney was 16 when he dropped out of school. He then attempted to enlist in the Army during World War I. Being underage, he wasn't able to. However, he did manage to work for the Red Cross as an ambulance driver during the war. Number 9. He once played Peter Pan in a school play. Before Disney Studios created the animated film version, Walt had a long relationship with the character of Peter Pan. As a child, Walt was given the opportunity to play the character in a school play. In order to fly, they used a rope and pulley system. The young boy who was in charge of the rope, Walt's brother, Roy Disney. Number 8. He was a train buff. Disney always loved trains, and as a child, Disney wanted to be a train engineer, like his father's cousin, who would frequently tell young Walt stories of life on the railroad. He loved trains so much that he actually had an elaborate model train in his office that he would often run for guests. He built a 1/8 scale model in his backyard, and when Disneyland was created, he put in a working train in the park, which still runs to this day. Number 7. He felt responsible for his mother's death. After he became successful, Disney decided to buy his parents a new house. Anytime there was a problem, Disney would send over his own repairmen to take care of it. On one occasion, they had issues with their furnace, so Disney sent over his team. However, they didn't take care of it completely, and Walt's mother ended up dying of carbon monoxide poisoning. For the rest of his life, Disney could not talk about what happened. Number 6. He produced propaganda films for the U.S. government during World War II. Shortly after the release of Dumbo in 1941, the U.S. entered World War II. Disney created the Walt Disney Training Films Unit to produce instructional video for the U.S. military. He met with the Secretary of the Treasury and agreed to produce Donald Duck cartoons to promote war bonds. He also produced several propaganda films, including Der Führer's Face, which won an Academy Award. Number 5. He was very anti-communism. As Disney grew older, he became much more politically conservative. He was a Democrat until 1940, and he was a generous donor to Thomas E. Dewey's presidential election against Harry S. Truman. And in 1946, he was the founding member of the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals. Disney also testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee, where he accused former animators and union leaders as communist agitators. Number 4. For a time, he was the only animator that could create Technicolor cartoons. In 1932, Disney was convinced to shoot one of his Silly Symphony cartoons, Flowers and Trees, in Technicolor, a fairly new technique at the time. Seeing its potential, Disney, always the shrewd businessman, negotiated a contract for exclusive use of the process for 2 years, meaning that the other animation studios could not use the process for their cartoons. Number 3. He drove his daughters to school every day. Disney had hundreds of people that worked for him, including live-in housekeepers and personal drivers of his own. However, despite this, Disney insisted on driving his daughters to school every single day himself. Number 2. He was anti-facial hair. In a cruel twist of irony, Walt Disney himself being known for his mustache, Disney would not allow the employees of Disneyland to have facial hair of any kind. In fact, he was so insistent on this that the rule eventually extended to the park's guests as well. However, that was eventually dropped. But it wasn't until 2012 that Disneyland employees were finally allowed to grow facial hair. However, it still has to be kept at a certain length. Number 1. He has won more Oscars than anyone in history. At 22 wins and 59 nominations, Disney holds the record for most individual wins. He won his first for the cartoon Flowers and Trees for Best Short Subject Cartoon, which he would win consecutively for the next 7 years. And when the film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs won, Disney received 1 regular-sized statue and 7 mini versions. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this that are uploaded weekly, please hit subscribe. If there's a certain celebrity that you would like to see featured in an upcoming video, please leave their name in the comment section below.